Well, I don't really know where this is going to go. Um, I may start recording, just me talking, not just me talking, because I need to express things. Um, and People who still follow my channel knows that there's a huge gap in recording. I recorded a couple things after I got hospitalized on December 1st, and then on January 27th of this year, and it's so I was hospitalized for extreme panic attack. I couldn't move, or I could barely move. I couldn't stand up. My nervous system completely collapsed. I started screaming. I started screaming whatever had to come out of me. All this stuff had to come out of me. The reason this happened was because I suffer from uh, CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which is, as I always say, not defined as a disorder in the APA's DSM-5. The DSM-5 came out in 2013. Thanks to COVID and a bunch of other things, it is woefully outdated. CPTSD gets treated much differently than PTSD, like you experience a car accident or you experience war for a period of time. Now, those are significant things. I'm not ditching on that. I'm just saying that the what I went through was, a full my entire childhood, probably even pre-childhood, given my mother's disposition, and probably also my dad's disposition. But you know, I experienced suffering. Like, people talk about reclaiming your life. I'm like, what's there to reclaim? I didn't have a life, and now that I'm, you know, the other side of 45, not only do I have a great big bald patch here, which I'm not going to show you right now, which sucks because I like my long hair. Um, the other thing, the it sucks to, I feel like, at my age, I'm trying to find a life for the first time. And that honestly right now sucks. Because I'm doing it. I've seen massive progress since I first collapsed. And I've come back and, you know, done things. And on March 10th, I have a video on here of me trying some things. There's two videos I think I posted since I was hospitalized, and I got real excited about playing, and then, ebbs and flows of life. CPTSD is a very difficult thing to explain to someone. You kind of have to go through it. Particularly because, in addition, because psychiatrists don't get training in it, because, as I said, it is not a diagnosis in the United States. It is in other countries. But in any event, I have a very short, it's just 3 words here, that I wanted to title this: CPTSD, alcohol, and guitar, because all of my other stuff here has been guitar, just about. There have been times when I posted when I was drunk. I can't play guitar when I'm drunk. I write like what I write in terms of lyrics when I'm drunk, but I cannot play the guitar when I'm drunk. I simply can't do it. It does not work. But I'm 7 months sober, so that's good. I'm going to go full disclosure. My last drink was November 13th, which is not 7 months ago. I'm kind of figuring what to do about that. But the day that means the most to me is August 28th. When I decided I'm 40. I don't hesitating to say my actual age on this because, privacy reasons, whatever. But it was just, I'm also recording this in absence of actually having friends, which is relevant here. It's just like, I got drunk on November 13th because I was trying to test to see, well, I've had, 2.5 months without alcohol in me. Are the hangovers still as bad? Because I still wanted to escape. I still do. I'll get to that hopefully, but we'll see. My brain tends to go try to figure out how it all going to come together. And this, I know the pieces fit because I watched them fall away. So there's a couple Tool songs I really relate to. Anyway, so My actual sober date is about 2 months shorter than that. It's closer to 5 months instead of 7. But the day that means the most to me, like I said, was August 28th. And the I might change that in the future. Who knows? Back to where it was. But for right now, I'm just glad because I tested as so can I get drunk now and not feel a bad hangover? Answer to that was no. Oh my God. Like people put up memes saying when you're in your 20s, you have a hangover, you get up the next day, you're like, yeah. And then you have memes in about say you get hungover in your 30s and you're like, ugh, this sucks. And then you get memes when you're in your 40s, this, about being hungover. And it's like someone put a gun to their head. So that's it's horrible. It's absolutely horrific to have a hangover in your 40s. Um, but in any event, so I stopped recording. I stopped playing. I stopped taking care of myself, and I drank. Uh, I think I drank for about 15 years. I'm not straight, and the good news is that I felt every hangover. I didn't ward off any hangover. There was one day when I think I got up still drunk and went to the store. Why I walked there and bought some booze, and then I went back and drank some more. But there was one day when I did that. But then I went up. I think I've felt the hangover every other time, which is good because that means I didn't need to go to a detox center and say, and wait for that to happen. Because stopping drinking, if you have alcohol in your system for a long time, then you stop drinking cold turkey, it could kill you. It gives you seizures and that type of stuff, and you need to have it bed and all this other stuff that I think we didn't need. But because of events internal, the CPTSD stuff, my loneliness, my deteriorating friendships, partially were my fault. I hate the word fault. I'm trying to explain when people say when I want to explain to someone why I am the way I am, I explain based on my childhood, whatever. And some people say you're blaming your childhood, and there's another word, blame. It's like I'm explaining. Okay, I can sit here and blame my parents. Sometimes it helps me to blame my parents when I'm angry and go, it's just not fair. It shouldn't be the way. But there is value in that expression, saying it's not fair. God damn it! And why do you think I write music? I mean, why do you think I listen to extreme metal? An Alan Thrak. Um, I mean, I grew up listening to Slayer, some Napalm. I mean, one of my favorite bands right now. Probably an Alan Thrak's my favorite band right now. I just like this very tortured stuff, and because I have a lot to express yet, especially given the state of the world, the state of this country's whatever, and um, but alcohol prevented me. So I didn't care. It cured my loneliness, and I would wake up the next day hungover, and then I'd hungover for 2 days. Hangovers do get longer as you get older, and um, so and then I'm not going to go into the external factors here, primarily having to do with my brother's long COVID and how that tipped the scales into my panic. Like people have panic attacks. People and panic attacks themselves are not lethal. However, when I knew what was happening when it happened, and I'm not going to go into that now because I don't want to re-trigger myself, re-traumatize myself. But I just kept talking to my parents because they picked me up, and I was like, you guys are in control. You guys are in control. You guys make all the calls here. If I have to go to the hospital, I do. If I have to be locked in a room, I do. I was because I didn't know what was going to come out of me. When I was in the ambulance going there, I shouted things that, because my mother wanted to ride with me. I shouted things. I involuntarily. I had no filter whatsoever. And I screamed because there was so much that needed to express. I mean, I got abandoned by them, when I was a kid. I mean, they're much better people now, but that doesn't mean I don't have that stuff I'm carrying around. Um, and also what the tipping point was, I got abandoned by a longtime friend who decided to side with her fiance, had to do with my sober group, so I lost my sober group, I lost my only reliable friend. A week earlier than that, I lost another friend. That one, was because I had texted her yet again, drunk and whatever, and swallowing and self-pity. So I don't blame her for blocking me. I don't. I just, it's just sad. I don't, I take responsibility for that. I mean, in fact, part of my thing here, I've discovered, I really wanted to make amends, and every time I think of make amends and make AA, and I hate AA. I hate it. You know why I hate it? Because they're about 100 years old and they have not gotten with the times. And I'm not gonna offer to tirade. So I mean, that saved people's lives. I just don't think that it was certainly not for me. And I got sober because the hangovers were bad. Were very, 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 very bad. That's why I got sober. There was no other reason. Um, but I have on my list the guitar portion of things. So as you might be able to see from a couple of things I've posted, and again, I don't know how consistent I'm going to be. I don't know how anything's going to be. I mean, even 4 months after my first um, collapse, which was the worst of the two. Um, the I mean, I don't know how this is, whether this is going to be a regular thing, me posting this, whatever it might be, because if I don't have some local friends, I have no local friends. I haven't had a hug from a friend. I actually, a friend, someone who's not my family, in over 5 years. Part of that was the alcohol. Me saying, I don't need, because when you have a bottle next to you that's going to give you a bunch of dopamine on command, you don't think about friends. And the next day I do. Next day I'm like trying to deal with a hangover and just breathing and doing breathing exercises and saying it'll be okay, it'll be all that stuff. So it's, but the guitar portion of it, I recorded some more guitar yesterday. I don't know how satisfied I am with it. It has some new riffs, but I mean, I may upload it, I may not, I don't know. My energy day in and day out, I mean, I've had way too much of it. I've had to pull it back in. I had to breathe it out, do Tai Chi, go for walks, do, you know, pretend I'm Rocky Balboa and you're doing this. Um, which I like. See the smile came, you notice the smile came to my face. Like, yeah, because this is why people, and I thought about this in the shower before I came on here. I thought, you know why kids go to like death metal shows and jump off a stage and swing their arms around? Because they're fucking mad. They're angry. Their life sucks. I mean, granted, I'm not them. I'm projecting my own stuff, but that's that's how I see it. And I, of course, am incredibly biased when it comes to childhood trauma because I had plenty of it. And so that's gonna stay with me the rest of my life. Now, my relationship to it is changing. Um, but my plan is to do guitar, and I don't have any idea how I'm going to promote myself or discipline myself enough to write music, and because it has to do with vulnerability. I'm a I hate the term HSP, but that's what um, CPTSD. The people think of people who are so a highly sensitive person. That's certainly true. Um, the the CPTSD. People think of people who are neurodivergent, like Asperger's, autism spectrum, that type of stuff. People who have CPTSD are very, very neurodivergent. This world is not intended for people. Certainly the society, the United States, is not intended for people who can't function like that. So I have problems with money. I can't make a living. I do what I can here. Doesn't come close to paying the bills, but it's something. Um, so my goal, I guess, is to, by doing this, is hopefully maybe someone will see it. It'll help somebody. It'll help. It's certainly, but I'm ultimately hoping to record this for myself because I need to talk and I want someone to see it and I want someone to just say, hey, it's okay, buddy. Because I have to do that to myself all the time. It's called reparenting. Put my hand over my abdomen where I feel like my inner child is. And I was like, hey, it's okay. We're gonna get through this, buddy. But buddy, right? We're gonna get through this, okay? And then oftentimes, I mean, I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And there's more trauma stuff I have to cry about in the future because in coming out of this and coming through this, I have discovered I have major gaps in my memory. So I discovered that there's something else in my childhood that's SA related that I am afraid to go into at all right now. And my therapist is going to be quitting doing therapy in less than 2 months. So yeah, I think this video has been long enough, but so if anyone watches it, great. If you don't, okay. So, but it's for me, and I hope someone got something out of this, and I hope someone watched. So thanks, folks. We'll see. Other things will probably occur to me. I may write them down. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So thanks.